breaking down, silently onto the ground. Above me, the azure sky.
Today, I want to talk about various techniques that a lot of spiritualists use to deceive clients into spending excess amount of money. Well, first thing you have to understand is this, is that a lot of these spiritualists are looking for your trust. They're trying to gain your trust. So what they'll utilize sometimes is readings to basically enter you into their web. So they'll enter you in with a reading. Sometimes, even if you know the situations, they don't care if you know what your situation is. You know, they'll come with the, oh, well, we have to do a reading because the spirit is the one that guides the situation. So it's not to say that some spiritualists are not functioning from that level where they cannot do things independent of themselves. But in a realistic world, if you have the experience, you should be able to hear a client's situation out and determine whether or not you're going to assist them or not, or if you can assist them or not. But what some people do to abuse this is that they'll sometimes hear the client's grief, they'll hear the client's problems, and then they'll say that they need to do a reading. Now, the average customer doesn't understand what's being done. When a customer goes to a spiritualist and that spiritualist starts listening to their problems and then offer a reading, this in turn usually is a setup for deception, because now you're not paying attention as you're speaking. They're taking mental notes. Of everything that you're saying. So now, when it comes time to do the reading, they're just regurgitating what you said, but adding a couple of new, nuances in there to spice what you're going through up a bit. So now you're thinking, oh my God, this is what it is. This is what it is. This is one technique. They lure you in with the reading. But now here goes the next situation where you have the reading going on, but now they're going to begin to fear-monger you. The fear-mongering technique is, oh, well, we see that they're doing work and this and that, they're trying to hurt your children, they're trying to do this, they're trying to do this to your family, and the reason why you're broken up is because these people are doing black magic on you. Now, with that sense of urgency, with that sense of doom, impending doom, what the client goes through at the moment is fear, because now they're thinking, oh my God, I gotta do something to get, I gotta do something to get this off me. And it's not to say that there isn't certain things that transpire in people's lives. It's not to say that this is not true in certain senses, in certain situations, because, I've had clients that were going through situations similar to that, and it wasn't an impending doom where it was, this is what's going to happen. I never pressed them like that to basically get work done. I just told them, this is what I see, and this is what energy is surrounding your life. Now you have a choice to do whatever you want about it, but now the difference between that scenario and the person impending, with the impending doom, is that they're going to say, if you do not do this, this is what's going to happen. There is no potential. This is bound to happen. This is destined to happen. So now the person feels as though this is the only thing, this is my only way out. I have to pay this guy to do a ritual. Now, you go through that scenario. You pay, you see nothing. So now I'm going to move into the next scenario. Where the person will say, okay, well, you got to do it by this time. You got to pay attention to when people are trying to pursue you, when they're pressuring you too much. This is another stage of the impending doom situation. you know, where the person begins to pressure you into this is what you have to do. The urgency, you know, pretty much the term I'm going to use here is the urgency situation, where basically they're urging you to basically, you know, spend, you have to do this, you have to do that on this particular date, you know, they're constantly pressing you. See, when you know what you're doing, when you're authentic and you have experience doing this, there is no sense of urgency for you to constantly call them, constantly call them, constantly call them. When you start seeing a spiritualist doing that, this is most likely a situation that, this is most likely a spiritualist that you got to be aware of. Because when spiritualists start urging you to spend more money, spend money, spend money, spend money, spend money, they're not looking out for your well-being. They're just trying to fill their pockets up with money. You know, and, you know, this sense of urgency is something that, you know, a lot of people don't catch on to. They think that the spiritualist is trying to help them, but ultimately they're just trying to put pressure on them and urge them, you know, through urgency to spend more money. See, here it goes. Now I'm going to give you another situation here, because this situation here is a very interesting situation. I say that you have to pay attention to get what's going on here. If a spiritualist is dealing with you and you haven't heard from them for God knows how long, you know, this is the thing that usually happens. You know, it's one of those, they leave you hanging on. You know, like, have you ever been in a relationship where the person, or not even a relationship, or saw someone or dated someone where they wasn't truly serious with you? They just basically had you on a leash. You know, they just basically had you on a leash, so whenever they feel like they're not tired of seeing you or whatever, or they're, you know, they're bored, they want to hit you up. This is pretty much how this works here. You know, where you have the spiritualist who has the client on a leash, where, okay, you know, I'll say I'll do certain things, and then months later, let's just say this, months later, they'll reach out to you and, you know, say, oh, well, you know, there's something things going wrong. You know, I had a vision, or I had a dream, or the spirit said this, or the spirit said that, so we have to do a ritual in order to, you know, to break the spell. But you didn't hear from them for 3 to 4 months. They said they were supposed to ship whatever thing out to you so you can put it in your house or something like that, and you didn't hear from them for 3 to 4 months. So now they come with this lame ass story and say, oh, you know, I was under spiritual attack and stuff like that, you know, and, you know, this situation can come in many forms. It doesn't necessarily have to be that the person just said that they were in spiritual attack. Some people just get ghosted. The client sometimes is so desperate that they'll put up with this shit, and they'll be like, okay, I understand your situation. All right, let's go again. So now the spiritual says, oh, I need $500. $500. $600. Who knows, whatever, $2,000, $3,000. Basically, they have you on a leash, as they're not doing anything for you. Only thing that they're doing for you is just communicating with you on the phone to basically get money from you. And that's pretty much it. You know, you don't hear from them for God knows how long, and then when they pop up, usually when that happens, they're broke. Something has happened where they're financially in a fucked up situation. They're in financial ruin. So they're like, holy fucking Christ, you know, I need to do, I got to pay my mortgage. I got to pay my rent. I need something. I'm back in fucking whatever. Who knows what the fuck? They probably were shooting fucking heroin up, or probably fucking shooting shit up their nose. You know, so this is what happens in that scenario where you don't hear from them, and then you hear from them months later. So now, here goes another scenario I want to give to you. And this usually happens in the Haitian voodoo community. Is in the leçon, right? You have a person saying the spirit possesses them, and oh my God, they're acting like they're possessed. They act like they're possessed, you know? So now, you're thinking you don't speak the language, you don't know the culture, so you just see a person moving around, acting all crazy, you know, climbing up a tree and shit like that. And now you say, oh, this person is possessed. So now in the possession, the spirit says, I'm going to do the work for you, but you got to pay $500 or $20,000, you know, or $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $10,000, who knows what the fuck. And sometimes the person can be so fucking possessed, you know, the person can be faking like they're possessed, that they come and say, oh my God, I got to sleep with you. You know, so you have all this fuckery being played where people even utilize true phenomenon in spirituality to basically make the client spend money. You know, this is a technique that happens all the time where people act like they're possessed, they fake the possession, you know, and they start saying a whole bunch of, garbage that, the client cannot basically, or the customer can't, have no bearing of proof upon. Because it's something irrational. This is something transcendental. So their thought is, well, I can't understand it, because it's something is way beyond me. And they think that's the truth. So now, we have another technique, and this is what I call the dirty reading. The dirty reading is pretty much when the reader has some spiritual abilities, but that reader mixes up what they mix what they're processing spiritually up with a bunch of lies. So now you're thinking, okay, I got some truthful things that I knew the answer to, that only I knew the answer to, and you're thinking, oh my God, this spiritualist is on point. They're talking the truth. Oh my God. But now they mix the fuckery up with it, because I remember there's a statement that I heard from somewhere. They said the best way to tell a lie is to put some truth in the lie. So when you have this going on, it's pretty much a merging of lies with truth. They'll tell you certain things that get you excited. Again, it's all about gaining your trust. So they'll get you excited, like, oh my God, how the fuck do they know that? How the fuck do they know that? So now you're thinking, oh my God, this person's telling the truth, but now they're mixing bullshit up with it. Because now you saw the truth, but now they're beginning to lie. That's where they say, oh, you have to do this, you have to do that. So now they gained your trust, and now they're beginning to manipulate you to get whatever they want out of you. See, you have to pay attention. So I gave you a list of scenarios how these spiritualists get down. Listen, just because, you go to 5 spiritualists and they all say the same thing. Oh, someone's cursing you. Someone's, whatever, they done a spell on you whatsoever. Let me tell you something. It's a common game amongst spiritualists. You got to understand, this is a fucking business. And in certain communities, there's a common fucking game that they all fucking play. They playing the same fucking game. And the game is this. You are fucking being attacked and you need fucking help. That's it. So when you're green, you're going to listen to all this. Oh my God, I need help. See, there's a lot of things that transpire in the world that go on every single day, and we're being affected by it. But the thing is, because we don't understand, we can be in a bad environment, and now we come home and all of a sudden we feel drained. But now you go to a spiritualist who knows that, they're going to say that someone did something to you. Now they throw you into this irrational world where you cannot find the facts for yourself. So now you can't look. It's almost like you don't have evidence in front of you. You don't have concrete evidence. You have to go off of what someone is telling you from, in their mind or in their head. You're going off of, you're going off of things that are transcendental, which you cannot comprehend. So you can never have a bearing of truth upon what they say. You have to listen to them. And this is where the manipulation happens. So I say this. You have to understand, when you're dealing with spiritualists, wherever they're Haitian, wherever they're from, on a voodoo level, Haitian voodoo level. If a person talking about they practice Haitian voodoo, okay, do they speak Haitian Creole? Okay, cool. They do? Okay, all right. So listen, what type of ceremonies where are you going with these people, So if you're talking about that type of facet of Haitian voodoo, because there's two. You have to understand, when you're talking about that, the left side, you have the right side. When you're talking about Guinea and stuff like that, then you have the ceremonies, you have the beat, you have the ceremonies, you have the what do you call it, the Peristyle, you have that community whatsoever. Now when you're talking about the left, that's a little different, but the left is very, very private and very secretive. But what's mainly known is what's on the right. But when you start investing into, when a person starts claiming that they're on the right side of the tradition, then you have to investigate. In the Haitian voodoo community, you have to ask, reputable mambos or reputable wugans, do they know this individual? Who is this individual? This person's claiming to be a Haitian voodooism whatsoever, or a practitioner of voodoo, whether they're Haitian or American whatsoever, you got to do your background check on these people. You gotta do it whether they're in Palero or whether they're Palero, whether they're Santiago. You gotta do your background check on these people. What do the community say about this individual? What do the community say about this individual? If they don't fucking know this person and this person's claiming to be some high level individual, then that's a very iffy situation. Now another thing, proper preparation prevents poor performance. You have to look at their demeanor, just like you're looking at a junkie, right? You're gonna tell you can tell if a person's a junkie based upon the tracks in their arm, whether their hands are fucking swollen and red. You can tell whether or not they're a junkie. And sometimes you can just look into their eyes and see that they're fucking gone. Sometimes you gotta hold the spiritualist accountable for their image as well. So when you go see these spiritualists, you gotta size them up. You gotta look at them like, okay, this is a person that's supposed to be helping me. Okay, this person's telling me that he could get my financial life together. How can you get my financial life together and you're living in a fucking tent on Skid Row? How can you get my financial life together if you're in your 30s and you're still living with your moms? How can you get my life together and you're still catching a fucking bus? Now, when it comes down to love work, these people talk about love magic. Does their life present that? What type of real life scenario have they been through to talk about this love work and they can help you out with love magic and stuff like that? What have they been? Are they a ladies' man? What type of women do these people? Proper preparation prevents poor performance. You know what I'm saying? And presentation means a lot. What can this person show you where they've been? Can they show you the love in their life? If they're professing that they can help you with their love life, what type of women do you see them around? What type of men do you see them around? If you are talking about love life, you should be able to resonate that. You should be a walking testimony to your client. And I say this directly to the client. Your spiritualist life has to be a testimony. How can your spiritualist help you if their life is not reflecting what you want? So listen, I'm gonna conclude this video. I thank you guys for watching. Like, share, and subscribe.